Good morning, Greg here. Burning both ends, burning on the front end of a Saturday in New York City. Had a phenomenal night with my dad and brother last night hanging out in the city. Had some great food, saw some live music, saw some great jazz. I got to capture some really cool memories from my dad living in the city. I learned that he bought his first car was a Volkswagen Beetle he bought for $1,900. Got stolen 2 years later. Never knew that before, so that was pretty cool. It's raining this morning, and I just one little comment about rain is I always find it fascinating how rain can really set the mood for people, in a day. So you get up, either it's raining or you know it's going to rain, and all automatically it's like you're down several notches as far as mood goes and things like that. And I always see rain as an opportunity to act in spite of, just to do things anyway, just to have a great attitude anyway. I bike to work. And I always like biking when it's raining out because I'm like one of the only ones doing it, so it's just kind of like, just kind of pushing myself. And then when I get to work, people know I bike to work, so they always ask, did you bike in today? And I say, yeah. And then kind of my follow-up comment is, oh yeah, I'm waterproof. And they're like, huh, what does that mean? And I'm just like, yeah, I'll get wet, but I will dry at the same time, or a little bit later, I guess. So anyway, let me hit tonight's topic. I don't have so much room on my phone here to make this video, so I'm going to kind of whip through this. So what we have today is my top 10 list of awesome things about New York City. So number one, incredible pizza. Just enough said. Love the pizza here, like no other pizza anywhere in the world. And I never really understood that. I grew up in Westchester and Pleasantville, and even in Pleasantville we had amazing pizza. And in the city, amazing pizza. And I remember the first time I went outside of New York City and tried to get pizza, and it was just horrible. It's like, wow, why is it so hard to make pizza? I was so spoiled with the good pizza, and it was kind of shocking to me to realize that there was just not good pizza outside of the tri-state area around New York City. And that was years ago, and now, for example, in Berkeley, in Albany, we have some pretty good pizza, but it's not New York style. It's, there's just something different. They say it's the water. I don't know if that's really true, but it might be. All right, number two, New York City was always the city for me growing up. That's what a city was. And so anytime I went to a different place or different city, I was like, this is kind of small, or this is a city. It's kind of interesting how that perspective of New York City being the city for me kind of changed my view of other cities. Number three, it was a big deal to go to the city in high school, and I remember the first time that my parents let me go with some friends on our own, and that was just a big deal. And I just remember how cool that was. We had our backpacks, and we went on the train, and I forget where we went, but I just remember how that was a huge milestone as a teenager to be allowed to go to the city on my own. So let me just adjust my hand, and there we go. All right, number four. I was a huge fan of jazz, and so for one high school prom, instead of going to the bar with all the other kids to get wasted, we instead went to the Village Vanguard in the city. We saw the Joe Lovano Trio. It was awesome. I remember it was a little bit boring. It was a little bit, slow jazz at certain times, and some people were falling asleep, but still, just the excitement of being at a famous club in New York City and seeing some jazz was awesome. Number five, more music. Seeing the Funky Meters. I forget what club it was, but with a really good friend of mine named Joel Martin. You should check him out. He's a fantastic pianist. Jazzical, if you the marriage of classical and jazz, you check it out. Joel is amazing. And then my good high school buddy named Andy. And I remember the three of us went down to the city. We saw the Funky Meters. I forget what club, but if you've never seen the Funky Meters, it might be too late to go see them. But talk about just phenomenal musicians and just getting the whole crowd bumping. Oh, awesome. Number six, driving in New York City. I remember how it's so much fun to drive in the city. There are no rules, and you can just kind of do anything you want. And I just remember after college having my own car, just driving around the city and just buzzing around and having a great time. And then linked to that, my brother, he lived in the city. He lived in Brooklyn after college, and then he lived in Manhattan. And it was always cool to go see him. And this was when I was in college, so I had my own car, so I was going to see him on my own. And it was just, I remember just it being really cool. And the awesome thing about my brother is that he always made my trips really special. When I went to go see him, it was always real special. We did some really cool things. And I could tell he was proud that his little brother was going to see him. So I always enjoyed that. And then one of the, let's see, so now we're on number 8. That was number 7. Number 8, when I went to see my brother, a lot of times we'd go to this place called a rodeo bar, and we would see the Flying Neutrinos. This phenomenal band, New Orleans style, like jazz and blues. The singer, this woman was incredible. They had a trombone player. I just remember like loving this music, and it was like a small, intimate place to go see a band, and it was just a lot of fun, rodeo bar. I don't think it exists anymore. Actually, I know it doesn't. Because on this trip, we wanted to see some live music, and I asked my brother if rodeo bar was around to see, a band there, but he said it doesn't exist anymore. So, all right, number 9, the Yankees games. Going to see Yankees games. I remember the very first Yankee game I ever saw. I remember Ricky Henderson caught the last out, and he does that thing where he catches it and he slaps it on top of his thigh. He's just totally cool. And I remember the first time, I'm walking around the outside, like where you walk before you get into the stadium, like you're technically in the stadium building, but you're not looking at the field yet. And then you walk through some corridor, and then, and then you see the green of the field. And I remember that first moment of walking through that corridor and seeing the green of the field and seeing how incredible it looked. Because, back then, so it was like mid-'86, I want to say. We didn't have high def. So watching a game on television was good, but it's not like it is now. It wasn't as crisp. We still had these like old school television, these, cathode ray tube televisions, and it wasn't so crisp and clean with the image. And so I remember seeing that field for the first time in that green. Oh, it's just incredible. And one awesome story. So my dad knew some cats in New York City. He knew a limo driver, and one year, opening day, I got to work at some lunch before the game, like as a waiter. It was like 13 or 14 or something like that. And a funny story, like a half an hour into the lunch, I bend down to pick something up, and I tear a huge hole in the back of my pants where my butt is. And I was like, oh man. Hopefully that's not too loud. Anyway, so that was pretty cool. Got to work the game, and then after the game, I got to watch the game from the George Steinbrenner skybox. Now, he wasn't there that day, but Joe DiMaggio was there, and Reggie Jackson was there. So I went into Steinbrenner's office, and I grabbed some stationery, and I saw Reggie Jackson. I asked for his autograph without even missing a beat. He signed the paper for me. I still have it. Joe DiMaggio totally gave me the Heisman. He's like, that's as far as you go, son. So I did not get Joe DiMaggio's autograph, but I did get Regis Philbin's autograph. That was kind of random. But that was just an awesome day. I remember watching that game. And I don't even remember if the Yankees won or not. It was just the excitement of being in Steinbrenner's skybox to watch the game was really cool. And then number 10, it's going to be this trip. I'm going to remember this trip for the rest of my life. I've got some great photos. I captured some great audio last night at the Jazz Club of my dad telling some stories. I hope to capture some more audio. I really dig this microphone, this little lavalier. I really dig it. It's so easy to use, and it really captures solid audio. I mean, like I even think now with this kind of loud music, I think you're gonna have no problem hearing me. Actually, I hope. So so this trip is just gonna go down in history as like an amazing trip to New York City. I'm gonna be telling my kids about it. So that's the post for today. Top 10 things for me from New York City. You all go out, have a great day. Subscribe, please. Comment down below. I want to be of service, so please tell me what you're doing, what you're up to. Let me know how I can help. I'd love to help. Probably not going to get beats on this video. In fact, I'm not going to get beats on this video, but check out G Money. It's my alter ego. I write beats and drum songs for drum quintets and sextets, so check out, there's a link in the description. I got some motivational videos in the description that really inspired me this year, so check those out. And that's what I got for now. So until next time, y'all have a great day.